Imagine you pick up your phone to look for directions to a new restaurant. Chances are that you instinctively open Google Maps to do this. Since its launch in 2004, Google Maps has become the go-to choice for individuals and businesses alike, dominating the maps and navigation space without any significant competition. But is it possible for any company to challenge Google? Can a small company succeed where even a tech giant like Apple has struggled in the past decade? Enter Hivemapper, a startup that aims to disrupt the industry with its unique business model and has already achieved remarkable growth in a short period of time. Their rate of growth in capturing street-level imagery is 4 times faster than Google Street View, and the potential is much more, up to 24 times more efficient. The key for this disruptive company is scalability. While the cost per car for Google is approximately $500,000 each, the cost per car for Hivemapper is roughly $500. This means that if you had $500 million to invest, Google could deploy 1,000 cars, while Hivemapper could deploy 1 million. And how are they achieving this? So let's dive into the details. We will break down this video in 4 chapters, and you can see the sections here. Chapter 1. The Rise of Google Maps. We could record a whole video talking about the full story and benefits of Google Maps, but that's probably not why you are here, so we will keep this section short. Google Maps boasts incredible benefits and an 80% market share in the mobile maps industry, with over 1 billion users worldwide. The platform generates billions of dollars in revenue annually, with estimates projecting it to reach over $11 billion by 2023. They generate this revenue primarily through advertising, API services, which enable other developers and websites to use the Maps functionality and data, and potential partnerships and licensing agreements. More than 5 million active apps and websites use Google Maps platform core products every week. While there have been some competitors, none have posed a significant threat to Google's dominance. Apple Maps is probably the biggest threat today, but it's limited to Apple devices and has less data added by users. OpenStreetMap is a free alternative with editable global maps built and updated by volunteers, but the lack of incentives makes unpaid crowdsourcing slow and time-consuming. Waze was an innovative startup with real-time traffic updates and crowdsourced information from a highly engaged community, but was acquired by Google. Map contributors, approximately 30,000 people at the time of acquisition, didn't receive monetary compensation despite Waze's $1.3 billion acquisition, leaving many feeling burned. Chapter 2. The Challenges. Despite its success, Google Maps faces several challenges. Updating maps and improving the service heavily relies on Google, with limited community contributions. This leads to point number 2, high costs and lack of updates. Maintaining up-to-date maps worldwide is a daunting task, resulting in slower updates for less profitable areas. We need to consider that each Google Street car costs roughly $500,000. Point 3, high prices for map data. Google's virtual monopoly allows them to increase API costs, affecting those 5 million companies and websites relying on map data. To quote an example, Uber paid Google Maps $58 million over 3 years for map services. Point 4 is privacy concerns. Users' data and privacy remain a concern, as Google can leverage navigation data for targeted advertising. Point 5, suppressed innovation. Google's control over data and pricing inhibits innovation from other players in the market, as prohibitive costs leave out multiple actors. This is what in business is called a moat. In other words, they have the ability to maintain their competitive advantage and fend competition to maintain profitability. So wrapping this section up, while users in major cities may enjoy a satisfactory experience, those in areas that are less profitable to Google face challenges. For the users that are on the business side, there are more struggles related to costs, lack of updates, and limited data usage, hindering innovation in the industry. Chapter 3. A new player emerges. Enter Hivemapper, a startup with a fresh approach to map creation and updates. Their fully crowdsourced model involves users installing cameras called dashcams in their cars, collecting street-level imagery to build a map. Unlike OpenStreetMap, which we mentioned before, Hivemapper compensates contributors, creating incentives for participation. Users earn rewards by driving with a dashcam, making it a potential passive income source, especially for taxi drivers, rideshare drivers, and delivery riders. The company highlights that contributors should not be driving only for mapping, but rather driving around as they would normally do just with the addition of the dashcam. So there's no additional effort from them. Data quality is ensured through cross-referencing information from multiple contributors. So how does Hivemapper make money to pay contributors? Hivemapper plans to generate revenue by selling map data, similar to Google Maps. However, they aim to offer more updated maps at a lower cost. Potential clients include insurance companies, governments, logistics firms, construction companies, and real estate agencies. Part of the earnings would then be distributed among the contributors. According to their webpage, if you would like to buy the maps for Paris, it would cost you roughly $60,000 at the current prices. But it's not all that simple. There are two major friction points. First, there is an upfront cost for map contributors. The dashcam currently sells for $549. Second is that compensation is not done in dollars or any fiat money, but in a token called Honey. You can think of Honey as having stock in the company, but actually it's a cryptocurrency. This is a double-edged sword because of price volatility. In addition to this, we know that there are multiple users who will just run away at the mention of blockchain or crypto. We must mention here that Hivemapper was founded in 2015 as a non-crypto company, but the CEO, Ariel Seidman, decided to take this path inspired by the success of Helium, a decentralized network of wireless hotspots. The Hivemapper team has experience building global maps at other traditional mapping companies, such as Mapbox, Yahoo Maps, and Scale AI. So it's not a random crypto money grabbing scheme founded in the 2021 bull run frenzy. All this talk sounds good, but what has Hivemapper actually accomplished until May 2023? Hivemapper has reported that it collected 2.5 million kilometers of unique street-level imagery. This doesn't sound like much when compared to the 60 million kilometers that Google has, but the interesting thing is how fast they have been growing. It took them only 6 months to gather this amount of data, while it took Google almost 12 years to collect the first 16 million kilometers for Street View. So they are moving 4 times faster than Google did during their first 12 years. And what is even more incredible is that 50% of the coverage was achieved in around 6 weeks between April and May. In terms of contributors in the community, Hivemapper has almost 14,000 people, which is a pretty impressive number for them to be so early. As a reference, Waze was estimated to have 30,000 contributors when Google acquired it. A large community and sustainable model for frequent map updates opens up use cases that with Google Maps are either too hard to scale worldwide or simply impossible. Some examples include detecting objects in the road, dynamically monitoring road incidents, and identifying places of interest with certainty. Fourth and final chapter. What does the future look like? Google Maps has certainly changed the history of maps and navigation, and it's a great example of technology improving our lives. But it's clear that this space has a need to evolve. Google continues to innovate and recently announced an AI feature in their map. They plan to leverage its massive Photos library to create in-app 3D experiences for multiple locations. However, the challenge of updating maps still persists. On the other hand, Hivemapper presents an intriguing business model that offers a win-win situation for both the company and contributors. It addresses the cost and update limitations faced by Google Maps and opens up possibilities for innovative mapping services. The growth numbers so far are pretty impressive, though it's not free of risks. They need to ensure a stable supply and hardware quality of their dashcams, ensure good user experience to minimize friction, and, most importantly, solve the trust and volatility issue with the driver reward. An interesting fact is that this model of leveraging crowdsourcing and developing win-win relationships is not new. Waze is a good historic example in the maps industry, but also Airbnb has done that in the hospitality industry and Uber has done it in ride sharing. There might be still potential to disrupt other industries with this model. Let us know in the comments if you know about other great crowdsourcing examples. We will close today by highlighting that the future does not have to be either Google Maps or Hivemapper. Hivemapper can be an alternative, fostering competition, better service, and innovation. Time will reveal if they become a true competitor and a big actor in this space, but their progress so far looks very promising. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, check out others in our channel and continue improving yourself every day.